During a recent appearance on SOFAKINGCOOL, Ted Nugent reflected on Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider's tweets over the coronavirus vaccine and testing positive for COVID-19. According to the rocker, Snider showed a rotten and horrible side of himself by celebrating a person's illness. Ted Nugent's notorious opinions on the coronavirus pandemic have been all over the internet since the beginning of the outbreak. The musician doesn't only speak publicly about not believing in the pandemic but also calls the vaccine an experimental shot. According to him, the virus was produced in a lab in China, and the vaccine is being experimented on people. After his controversial views on the pandemic, the musician actually ended up testing positive for COVID-19 in April. Since many musicians have often criticized his statements, he was mocked by many artists following his diagnosis, including Testament's lead guitarist Alex Skolnick. The guitarist shared a post on his official Twitter account in which he showed 2 articles related to Nugent's statement on the coronavirus pandemic and the announcement of his test. Dee Snider also replied to that post and said that it's just beautiful to see Nugent testing positive after denying the existence of the pandemic. In his post, Snider penned, "It's just so beautiful." During a recent interview, Ted Nugent opened up about Dee Snider's post as the duo used to be friends. The musician slammed Snider for being a horrible person and deriving pleasure from a human's illness. Furthermore, Nugent said that he wouldn't expect Snider to be such a person as he's a good guy. But he ended up showing a horrible side of himself with his commentary. Nugent said,
What is that thought process? He and I have been friends. What horrible human impulse. Horrible, rotten, hateful, soulless impulse must exist in horrible people to take pleasure and celebrate a fellow man's illness. It went viral across the globe where the left said, "I got what I deserve." How did I deserve that? Well, he called it a hoax. Never ever used the H word. Never used the word hoax. Never called it a hoax. I called Fauci a scam artist. I called Pelosi, Fauci, and Obama at the Wuhan lab with our tax dollars to cultivate a communist Chinese weaponized virus? That's not a Ted Nugent supposition. We have the footage. And they took glee. A guy like Dee Snider, how can you abandon your humanity and take pleasure in another person's sickness? What a horrible, horrible manifestation of societal human abandonment. So I pray for the Dee Sniders to allow themselves to be that rotten. I expect Marxists and leftists, but not a Dee Snider, and not otherwise reasonably decent people, because he's a good guy. But boy, he really showed a rotten, horrible side when he did that. And it didn't impact me at all, because I know that there's always been bad, nasty people. But when it's like in the movie Braveheart, when William Wallace finally gets a crack to dispatch the enemy King Punk, and the guy that he bonded with as a blood brother came at him with the hood on and the lance and attempted to kill him, and it turned out to be his friend. And William Wallace laid back and went, "My God, even my close friends have taken the side of evil." So if Dee Snider's watching, Dee, I think it was a hiccup. I don't think that's what you are. But when you're ready to be a man and apologize, I will expect and accept your apology, because that was a rotten moment in an otherwise nice life. How do you just decide to be a prick one day?
Thank you for tuning in, and please hit that like button, it's appreciated. Make sure that you subscribe for more rock-related content.